So today we have the pleasure of talking to Miss Payal Tekchandani. She's a business management graduate and Goldman Sachs 2023 Growth Fellow. She currently runs a chain of boutique dermatology clinics under the name of Tender Skin International, a concept clinic for a personalized service called the Wedding Clinic. She's also a mentor with Own Academy and SOHO House for aspiring women entrepreneurs. Her business journey was recently published by Harvard Business Publishing as an India-specific teaching case on her business journey of growth and scale up. So yes, we can start with the first question. So reflecting on your experience with Goldman Sachs 2023 Growth Fellow Program, how did it shape your understanding of creativity in the business world? And what advice would you give to young girls looking to embark on a similar journey?
Okay, firstly, thank you very much, Mihika, for such a wonderful introduction. And also thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my journey and a few key learning aspects of the last 13 years of, being an entrepreneur. To answer your first question, I would like to start with explaining my interpretation of creativity, and how fluid this term is and how it can have so many different meanings. It's not restricted to the art community or an artist or for that matter, someone who's in the space of graphic designing or someone who's into painting, but someone like me who runs a business. For me, even looking at a problem from a new lens is that perspective is what creativity means. And 10K Women program was a game changer for me. And if you followed my story, you would know that I have had to, education didn't come to me easily. So I had to fight the good fight to be able to get to college, to get my degree. 2012, the year 2012 to 2016, these were the formative years of my journey as an entrepreneur. I was 24 years of age, newly married. I had just taken over my family business. I had moved from a job to running a business. And that's exactly the time when the 10K Women program, the opportunity came to me. I applied for it and I got through. It not only presented me with the best access to the best business school in India, the Indian School of Business, it also presented me with the right resources, the best industry faculty. It gave me the understanding, like it helped me understand the business. It helped me dissect the business. It helped me pivot the business. I paused a few divisions. I moved in a certain direction. These 4 years of when I just about started, I think I was completely underground because I was still trying to get my footing of how to make the business work. So it really helped, the program really helped me shape my understanding of what an entrepreneur's life entails and what the business needs me to do at that very juncture of my life. And the advice that I think I would like to give the girls from the program who would be watching this interview would be that for me, I have just gone with the flow. I have not had the liberty to choose, to plan, to really evaluate possibilities. And I have just taken on every opportunity that life has presented me with. Even if it was an adversity, I have taken it up as a challenge and I've turned it into an opportunity that has come my way. And that attitude to be able to take control of the situation, to be able to drive it, is what is an advice that I want to leave them with. That when life happens, like just ride the wave and believe that it will all come together when you look back moving forward.
Awesome. Did you face any gender specific barriers while you were starting your business?
I wouldn't say when I was starting my business per se, but coming from a very conservative Indian family, did face a lot of challenges back at home, where that's why education was not something that happened, right? Like, for example, my father was not okay to send me to college. He just felt that education is not going to really help me. So I really had to fight to be able to get my degree. And my mom had to really fight to make sure that I could go to college and get my education. And that's why when 10K happened to me, I was just like, it was God sent. I was like, oh my God, this is just what I need. And I'm so glad that this scholarship is available and Goldman Sachs is doing something so beautiful for women out there who need help to be able to navigate businesses.
Perfect. Can you talk a little bit about how you started Tender Skin International?
I did not start Tender Skin International. Tender Skin International, the parent brand, is something that my mother started because she's the dermatologist. She started it in 2004. I took over the business in 2012 when they decided to move countries. My parents both moved to Dubai and they set up a new business there altogether. That's when I quit my job in entertainment marketing and I actually took it as a small sabbatical, thinking that I'll just step in for a little bit and I'll go back to doing what I do. But then I never went back. It's been 13 years and I'm right here. So it's her legacy that I'm taking forward. And what I started as my own forward integration to TSI, that's Tender Skin, was the wedding clinic, which is a concept clinic in the space of skin, hair, anti-aging for like premiumized service offerings for the bride, the groom, and the wedding families.
Awesome. So did you study in marketing?
I did do my management studies final year in marketing, yes.
So how do you think that helped you kind of grow your business?
I feel that it was a culmination of everything, not specifically my graduation degree, but the 4 years of my work experience after that, which was into entertainment marketing, where I had a lot of on ground exposure with the industry, where I worked with brands. I did a lot of collaboration work between brands in film marketing, celebrity endorsements, and that, along with, I would say, what I, after the 4 years, when I actually got into the 10K Women program, and when I then understood, when when you've had practical experience, and then when the bookish knowledge comes school after you've been on ground, suddenly the books make so much more sense. I think that really helped me direct this understanding of marketing in the business. Uh, Marketing is not the first thing that you need to do when you start running a business, because you're all over the place. You're trying to run operations, you're trying to run finance, accounts, everything, right? Marketing came in much, much later in this journey of mine, where we started looking at how the brand looks, how the customer experience is, how do we want to take care of the tiniest details, from the brand colors to the ambience of the place, the music that we are playing, the kind of when you're doing the services, what is our differentiated service offering that we're providing to the customers from what the competition or what the market is providing. So I feel that marketing on a larger scale came in much, much later. We started getting into social media. We started getting into, upgrading our websites, SEO. All of that came in much, much, much later in the picture. In the beginning, I think it was only about fine tuning what we were already doing and how we could do it better so that we could retain our customers and we keep bringing them back. And then slowly, as the business grew and we started having a larger kitty of finance to pump it into marketing to drive more walk-ins and more growth, is when we started putting, the marketing jargons that we learn in school and college to actual use.
Okay, as the founder of the One It Clinic and kind of running Tender Skin International, both kind of operating in the skincare industry, how do you foster creativity within your teams to stay innovative and competitive?
That creativity for me has a very, very expansive definition, and it's a lot more than being restricted to a particular field. So the day I understood that, uh, my perspective about just what creativity means had completely changed. And as humans, I believe that we're naturally wired to look at things in a very independent way. If I was empowered, like if someone came to me and told me that, Payal, I trust you and I believe that you can do this and you can go out there and achieve it, I know that I will set everything in my capacity and I will do everything that I can to make that happen. And that is exactly the space that I wanted my team to operate out of. So I have always said this, that my leadership style specifically has been of faith and freedom, because I came from a space where I wished I had that growing up, or, I was not constantly second guessed, or I was not constantly, put in a space of self doubt. So I don't know if we spoke about this, but we have an all women team. We're a team of about 70 plus women right now in Tender Skin and the Wedding Clinic. And to fuel their creativity, I think first thing, the most important thing is that how I am constantly, reinventing the wheel for myself, and how every time I am, feeling that the reserve of energy is depleted, what do I do to constantly keep fueling them towards being more innovative and being their authentic self? So for me, that outlet has always been to take like a few days off, or take a short break to step out, maybe do a small course, come back again, completely re energized to be able to drive the team again and again towards their goals. And being an all women team came from that space of passion, and from a space of creating this very safe environment of growth, a safe space for them to have an open dialogue where, we've managed to create this culture and this sense of belonging and this sense of community that really helps them channelize themselves towards, one, being their authentic self, and then secondly, that also leads towards them being innovative in their respective workspaces. These women who work for us, especially, the therapists, for example, or my front desk executives, these women, they come from a very, I would say, they're not skilled. Like, we have to train them, we have to teach them how to do these things. So just being able to come out of their house and to a space of work which promotes this kind of an environment itself is, it's a great uh, positive space for them. And what we do, like, there are a couple of activities that we do at each of our clinics and offices, that we let them, for example, we have Women's Day coming up. So every year on Women's Day, what we would do is we invite some outside aggregators who would come, like freelance aggregators who would come and give them the experience, make them feel like how a customer feels when they give the customer a treatment. So each of our therapists, each of our team members undergoes a spa treatment, a facial, some sort of a massage, whatever they feel like on that day, because it's their day to be pampered. And this just re-energizes them and makes them think as a customer, and also makes them think out of the box. Apart from this, we do certain daily activities, like the HR in the company drives these very interesting, innovative activities where we do positive affirmations with them. We'll do a vision board. We do some manifestation based activities, drawings, paintings, and just kind of fuel them to think differently and break out of the, day to day clutter.
Mhm. Is there like any specific like story or strategy where creativity kind of played a role in your team in kind of tailoring skincare solutions for brides? And how do you think young entrepreneurs can kind of apply similar creative thinking to meet specific market needs?
So the concept of the wedding clinic, now this is very, I would say it's actually very funny, because the concept of the wedding clinic happened to me when I was submitting the capstone project for the first in 2013, at my first 10K women program at the Indian School of Business. That was a year I was also going to get married. And I realized that in spite of the fact that I have my own skincare clinic, I have had no time whatsoever to get any treatment done. I have given zero importance to my skin, my hair removal treatments. I've just been so busy running my business, running around doing your wedding shopping, planning the wedding, and you know how big fat Indian weddings are. There is this huge need gap in the market that needs to be filled in. And why not just come up with a concept that only caters to driving this awareness and catering to the brides, the groom, and the wedding families, and just reminding them that, hi there, this is equally important. And the physiological stress is taking over. It is showing on your face. Makeup can only do so much. You have to treat your skin inside out. And that's literally where the wedding clinic was born out of, at the, you know, in a on paper, in the capstone project that I had submitted. And my personal journey there, because that was the same year I got married. And similarly, there's another story where, like I was saying, that when I hit burnout, I try to take a break, whether I go do a course or I travel. We were up north in Dharamshala. We were there for like a 4 or 5 day break, and I went in to get like just a detox spa done at someone who recommended a very nice freelance small. It was like a hut sort of a space, and I go there and meet this lady who had such beautiful. She just created this amazing vibe around that small thatched hut roof, and there were incense sticks. There was some beautiful yogic music playing, and then when she did the treatment, she kept talking about how internally I am supposed to be manifesting all these good energies flowing, and then chakra meditation and all of that. And from there, I just realized that each of specifically brides are going through so much stress in life, that how about introducing meditative facials through sound healing, sound baths at each of our clinics. And I came back from that trip with this concept, and we introduced them at the clinics as a one-off session, like a pop-up, to see how it does. And people loved it. So I think that's how, through my travels or through my interaction with the communities that I'm a part of, I've been able to come back with such creative solutions or innovations to be able to drive the business in a differentiated format and a differentiated offering for our customers.
Yeah, what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs trying to spark an idea to like build a business, basically?
Okay, wow, there's so many, so many advices I can give, but if I have to just pick up like 3 or 4 very key learnings for anyone who, whether it's starting a business or in general, who's you know um, just setting out on a new career path, is firstly and foremostly is just go with the flow and let life happen to you. Sometimes you cannot control the narrative to the extent that you would want to control it, right? And it's important that you set your own timelines. It's important that you measure yourself on your own scale and not by the artificial pressure of your peers' success or their success rate or ratio. Everyone, has a certain time when it'll be your time to be successful or to find your calling. I I think for me, it 2017, 2018 is when I started realizing that, okay, I actually now enjoy what I do after 5 years of being in the skincare space. It's only then that I started realizing that everything that you do doesn't have to be like 100% perfect. It's a journey. It's going to keep, unfolding itself. It's just important to keep going with the flow and taking on those challenges one day at a time. Eventually, it is all going to come together and make sense to you. And the other thing that has really worked for me has been to constantly keep reinventing myself, because I feel that as an entrepreneur specifically, it can be a very, very lonely, it can get very lonely, but only if you make it that way. So if you, the way I have constantly catered to that feeling of feeling low, because entrepreneurship is like this bell curve that you have constant highs and constant lows, is by being part of larger communities, other women entrepreneur groups, where people share their challenges. When you hear each other's stories and challenges, I think it just constantly motivates you and pushes you in the right direction to keep doing what you're doing. And at the end of the day, you are in charge of your own life, right? I mean, you are the HR, you're every division in your company. So if you have to motivate yourself, only you can do it. There's no one above you to come and tell you that, hey, Payal, let's do this today for you. You'll just feel better. No, I have to decide that for myself, and I have to push myself out of the comfort zone to be able to get there. So it's constantly important. It's constantly important to keep reinventing that wheel for yourself. And you have to have that self motivation to be able to do it as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I kind of read on Goldman Sachs website that you are in the pursuit of becoming carbon neutral by 2030. What creative initiatives or like sustainable practices are you implementing within your businesses to achieve this ambitious goal?
Yes, so sustainability is such a big word, and being carbon neutral also, but I feel that it's a long journey and it's a culmination of multiple small baby steps that one has to take for it to eventually become a large movement. I feel that the generation that we all come, like I'm a millennial. I know the Gen Zs and the newer generations are more and more aware of the circular economy. And one thing that I'd like to tell the girls is that what we need to do to even begin the sustainability journey is first to start identifying the low hanging fruits. And that's what we did at, our clinics. Low hanging fruits, something as simple as we don't serve water in a Bisleri bottle or a plastic bottle. We serve water only in glass bottles. And it's also about, when we talk about a circular economy, it's about helping fellow homegrown businesses or finding the right vendors, the right resources, the right um, vendor partners for yourself who also believe in this picture of sustainability, who are then supporting, in turn, supporting local artisans. So we started, for example, working with an NGO based in south of India, where they work with disabled children who make the bags that we give our products, and who make our envelopes, which we put our bills and our prescriptions and everything, and we give that in. So all of these small initiatives eventually would lead to reaching a point where, the entire business can become 100% carbon neutral. When I started off thinking about this concept, it felt like, oh my God, how am I going to do it? Because that means I need to install solar panels and need to, start generating positive electricity. And which was not possible for a business like mine, which is so small and we're bootstrapped. And if I had to do that, that would probably run me out of the money, and I would not even make my bottom line. And eventually the business would probably have to shut down. That's not how I can look at sustainability or carbon, being carbon neutral. I need to look at it from a small business point of view. I need to start identifying the smaller things that we can do on a day-to-day basis. You have to identify the low-hanging fruits. You have to start doing the small, take those tiny steps towards, it becoming a larger, a part of, the larger plan. And the last bit that I was talking about was something that we've just started doing now that we know that our profitability is established. We do like a yearly budget planning where we allocate a certain budget towards sustainable initiatives, which really, help us champion that way without compromising on our bottom line, making sure that the business also runs alongside this larger goal of being able to attain sustainability.
Okay, cool. Um, how can kind of young entrepreneurs reframe their perspective on failure? Or have you experienced failure while you were kind of running both the wedding clinic and Tender Skin International?
Absolutely. I mean, the word failure has a very negative connotation. So that's not something I don't like using that word, because I just feel that there's nothing called as failure. It's basically a continuous learning curve. Every time you hit rock bottom or you hit a particular challenge or a roadblock, how you overcome it at that point is what's going to define the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year of that journey of yours. And it's very important to not let it completely bog you down or tell you that, okay, you're not on the right path, because that's not what it means. So it's purely perspective that you need to have. And failure in I think for me personally, I've hit, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say failure, but I would say that I've had multiple moments in this journey of the last 13 years that I felt that I can't continue, and I don't want to do this anymore, and it's not worth it, or am I on the right path, or is this something that really fuels me and my passion? So you constantly will feel you'll feel questioned, you'll keep second guessing your decisions. Sometimes you will maybe make wrong choices when presented with situations in life. But it's only taught me how to handle similar situations or, larger situations in life moving forward. So I would just say that um, don't let it bog you down. And it's a part and parcel of being an entrepreneur, just being a human in general. Even at a career place, this is going to happen. You will hit highs and lows, and you just have to, at that point in time, take it in your stride and move forward.
Yes, I agree. Any like kind of last advice that you would give to young girls aspiring to kind of lead and innovate their entrepreneurial pursuits?
I would just say that be yourself because everyone else is taken, and don't be very hard on yourself. Just every time you're in a situation that makes you feel that, okay, enough, I can't move forward, just take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and next day is going to be better.
That's basically all the questions I have. Thank you so much for being a part of this curriculum to empower girls in Nepal. We hope your advice will create a better future for aspiring business leaders around the world.